This episode is brought to you by William Hill's Final One Standing. It's free to play, it's the ultimate elimination game.
How's it going, people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Fourever Arsenal podcast. Game week 4 out of the way. Another 3 points in the bag for Arsenal. Bounce back from that Liverpool game. First one off the back of international break. And we're in full flow again until the next international break, a few weeks away. But Champions League football is back. Carabao Cup football in between. So the fixtures are coming thicker and faster. And we're here to cover them, people. So like, subscribe, individual channels. Sort it out, people. You know what to do. And yeah, we got Jordan, Lee, and James in the cut as always. Yeah, we've bounced back, lads. And it's a nice bounce back at that. 3-0 Forest. How are you all feeling? All good?
Very good. Very good.
I told you, I knew we beat Forest 3-0 last season, Lee. We was here talking about the last time we beat them. We beat them 3-0 last season.
Yeah, it said differently.
On the pod last time.
What did I say?
It's always been tight.
Did I?
Yeah, I think so.
Not really. Like, you know what I mean? I've not been in the league for 20 years.
Well, you said it, not me.
I don't remember saying that. Like, you know what I mean? Always having a dig you are. You know what I mean? I don't think I did say that.
You go way back, so you know the fixtures, even with
that
gap in between.
Got a good record against it. I don't remember saying that. If I did say that, I but I don't actually remember saying that.
Yeah, you did. I should actually take the points off the prediction table, really, as well.
Now we're getting to the crux of it, like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, now we're getting to the crux of it. A bit of jealousy going about.
Not a bad shout, to be fair, you know.
No bad shout, Jordan. I like it. I love it.
Look at him up there, like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, hey, I wouldn't have you on a raid, I'll tell you, like, it was him straight away, like, you know what I mean?
We wouldn't have you on a raid on a diamond heist. He wouldn't be bringing you.
No, can you imagine that, like, you know what I mean? You're Nick Jordan. Yeah, Lee Judges was with me, sir.
Hey, Lee drove the car. Lee drove the car.
Yeah, he drove the car badly, you know what I mean? He was tight through that alley. Yeah, I come below, you know what I mean? Unbelievable, like, you know. Unreal, the three of you.
You told me we're going cinema. We ended up at a bank. Community, love as always. Hopefully, you enjoyed the pod. It's due to be a good one. We won. All smiles. So give us your thoughts as always in the comment section. Comments of the day as always towards the end of the show. And yeah, Lee's got a flight in less than a couple hours, so we're gonna have to keep this short, sweet, choppy, because he's going over to Bilbao to watch Arsenal back in the Champions League. But yeah, James, good time off because you missed the last pod, right?
I did miss the last pod, and people got onto me because I actually uploaded a video on my channel. I got in at 9:30. You guys had recorded. What can I say? Yeah, sorry I missed the last one. But I'm glad I'm back for this one. This is probably the most positive pod we'll have done for a long, long time when you really think about it. Obviously, the Real Madrid wins and everything. There's a lot of hype in that little Champions League run, but I can't remember the last time I felt genuine encouragement in the league. I know we beat Man United. I know we won 5-0 against Leeds. That was positive too. But there's something about the result on Saturday and the performance that went with it, the way everything clicked, the way we had a lot of new signings on the pitch. I think I counted 8 of the 11 weren't a part of the 23-24 run-in, which actually tells you how much the squad has changed, how quickly some of the players have really adapted. I'm sure we'll go player by player, Mosquera, Eze, Madueke, so many players you talk about. Zubimendi, not just for the 2 goals, his performance. But also, I think one thing I want to give Arteta major credit for is that he's doing the things we wanted to see, which is rotating the team, looking at form, looking at combinations that work. Eze on the left was always going to be better with a Calafiori type marauding fullback. And you saw the alternating of positions and the rotations, the way that worked really well there. Marino is in great form, but he didn't play as a second striker or as an attacking midfielder. I thought he looked brilliant on the ball next to Zubimendi, showing that kind of quality we didn't know he had in his first season. And that all came from Arteta going, you know what, Rice can sit this one out. Saliba trained, he confirmed that. But you know what, Mosquera, you got this. I really like that. I thought that was a really good use of the squad. Gyökeres gets his goal. The game's wrapped up. Take him off and wrap him in cotton wool because he's our only fit striker. So while we're going to praise a lot of players, just quickly, Arteta had a blinder, I thought, on Saturday. And look, I'd expect him to beat a Forest under a new manager, especially when the tactics under a new manager are going to be so different. But I still think he got everything right. So well done to him and Arsenal. I thought it was a really good 3 points. I thought energised the club, if I'm honest.
Yeah, no, I titled my match reaction "The Summer Signings Show Up," and I think game week 4, that's a good time to be showing up. It's pretty early in the season, and it's hard to really just pick one out and focus on him, because whether it's Subi with the 2 goals or Noni with a great display in Saka's absence, or Gyökeres with, in the first half, I believe, quality link-up play, and then second half being there for his goal and making it 3 and 4. Mosquera, another one immense. Not that he had to deal with much, but everything he dealt with aplomb. It's hard to really focus on one, but that makes it even better. Jordan, actually, Lee, let's start with you as always. You're at the game. Why not? How did you feel about that when you was there, back from international break? The fans back in the stadium, midday kicking off game week 4.
Yeah. Jordan, your thoughts, mate? Actually, no. Lee.
I got ahead of myself there, man.
Actually, we need that viewer retention, Lee, please.
Can't have them kick off now. It's only 6 minutes in.
No, it was everything you wanted from a home performance that night. You know what I mean? You got to say that. That's what we've been wanting. We've been too many games last year. Weren't very entertaining. Didn't look like we could break teams down. You know, I never had that worry. I don't know if you guys watching it felt the same. I always felt that we was going to score. We looked like we was going to break them down at any point. Did that, and then I felt we kept them very, very quiet. Like, you know, defensively we weren't shaky. Like, we weren't open, like, and conceding a silly goal or whatever. Like, you know, listen. All teams are going to have chances. They have one. With Gibbs White, we put White, which was a good move, and then of course the one that hit the bolt, which was unbelievable. I didn't know at the time, it was a great save from Raya. Actually got his fingers to it, like, you know. So it was a really, really good performance. And from my point of view, that's what I want to see. I wanted to see games like that. You know, that for me on Saturday was more of a test than what's going to happen with Man City, because it was those sort of games last year that we failed on. Like, they were the games that we dropped points on and things like that, and all those sort of things and worries and doubts that I've got and had and seen over the last couple of seasons with our home games, that was not there. It was a really accomplished performance, and just bringing what James said there, spot on, Mikel Arteta. Like, you know what I mean? We're all quick to criticise. I was against Liverpool with his team selection and everything. He got it absolutely spot on. Like, you know, if there was a game to rest Rice, this was the game. Mourinho's just on the back of a hat trick, and has started to play really well. He just moved the ball very, very quick. Lovely little turns away from players and all that, which he wasn't doing last season. I think maybe he's getting up to speed with the league, and I think that was something there. The goal from Zubimendi was class. It was just like that. You know, that's what you want to pay your money for and all that, like. But I've got one bugbear about it all, like, you know, and you come out of the game. I know we've won 4-0, Lee, or 3-0, or when one, but he's still got to go, isn't he? I'm getting fed up with that. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's an agenda against Mikel Arteta with a lot of people now, like, you know, their fan base. You know, he's just won 3-0. Give it a rest, guys. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't want him there, you know, when you've won 3-0, there's no need to bring it up, is there? You know what I mean? I'm sorry if you want to. I don't want to be having conversations like that with people after games and all that. Like, you know, you've won 3-0. You know, enjoy it. You know, we're not going to win every game, and there's going to be times when it's not going to be great. You know what I mean? Like, but when we win 3-0 at home, or we win at any game, I'm happy. I don't care about anything else, you know what I mean? Like, you know, and I just think, like, there is a slight agenda against him. Actually, talking to a couple of, you know, people at football yesterday playing football, you know, no one, the away, the Spurs fans, they can't stand Arteta. You know what I mean? I was like, and I think, why can't you stand Arteta? Like, oh, he's this and he's that. Like, and I think, oh, hold on a minute. Then if opposition fans are not liking him, he's doing something right. So at the end of it, come on, like, you know what I mean? You've just won 3-0. Just stop the agenda stuff and all that, like, because there's going to be times when I'm one. I say this now. I will criticise. I will criticise him, and I criticise him for the way against Liverpool. I watched Liverpool yesterday. I still look at him and go, why didn't you go for that game last time? Very, very negative. But I think he got everything right on Saturday, from team selection, from substitutions, as James mentioned as well. He got it dead right, And when has there been a time, guys, when we've had Saka out, Saliba not playing, Declan Rice not in the team, Odegaard going off after 10 minutes again, and none of us losing it? No one sitting around at me is going like about injuries or moaning about this and that, like, because everybody around me is confident with the squad we've got now. And it is a very, very good squad. We've beaten a decent team 3-0 with 4 or 5 players out. Now, let's hope and see when it happens with Liverpool, when they have 4 of their best players out, see what they can do, like, you know what I mean? See if they can still beat teams comfortably like that. So I think a lot of praise for Arsenal on this game, not going overboard because it's Forest and West Ham beating 3-0 as well, like, But at the end of the day, you can only beat what's in front of you, and it's how you beat that team in front of you as well, like, And it wasn't a scrappy last-minute goal or a corner or whatever. It was, we dissected them, beat them really, really well with good team play. And what was brilliant about it was all the new signings and all that contributed massively in that game.
100%. I don't know where to start. I'm surprised at the Arteta stuff, if I'm honest with you.
I couldn't believe it.
See, modern day football, a lot of people, especially want to put their, I mean, it was always the case, but social media highlights even more that people want to put their opinions before sense, I guess. Because I'm not, at the start of the summer, I would have suggested to replace if there was a manager available, because I just felt like things were stale. But once the season starts, once you get a whole transfer window in the manner that he did, the only sensible thing is to see how it goes. No point in a few games into the season kicking toys out of the pram when there's a big season ahead, long season ahead. Let's see what we do first. Let's find out the facts. Let's see where we're at. To find out if we're happy about it, if we're not. People preempt how they're going to feel a lot of the time. And when you preempt how you're going to feel, you're always eager to get it out there, even when it might not make the most sense, because 3 wins out of 4, a tough start to the season, a transfer window that led us to be confident going to Anfield without Saka. And like you said, against Forest, Odegaard coming off, none of us really, bothered too much about it in terms of, get well soon. But I mean, in terms of on the pitch, what to expect. And the signings, Saliba out, Saka out on top of that, Havertz out on top of that. If you're a fan of his, we've had a lot to maneuver through in the first few games. On the game itself, I think first 30 minutes was quite, everything was coming from set pieces again. And I was a bit like, oof, our main chances, I think a couple set pieces, that Gabriel header, the free kick that landed to Marino in the box. So I was questioning the open play stuff. And then Madueke, he beats 2 men on the side. He feints Elliot Anderson, and then he gets the cutback, which I think Timber was close to, but it got cleared for a corner, and that was 1-0. That was a Zubi goal. And from there, we really opened up, in my opinion. A lot of people are putting it to Nwaneri coming on, and they highlighted something interesting that with Nwaneri on the pitch or with Odegaard off it, we scored 7 of our 9 goals this season. I don't know how accurate that is, but he came off early against Leeds, and I think we scored 4 goals, right? And he came off early against Forest, and we scored the 3. So yeah, that was an interesting take as well. A player that was so important, or has been so important to us, missing, but us still producing the goods. Jordan, you look confused.
No. You've taken one of my points later on.
Okay.
No, that's an interested, agreeable look, not confused.
Oh, okay.
I'm with you.
I was waiting for the hand to come up and be like,
no. That's one of my points for later on. So I'm with you.
Listen, I cover the grass, Jordan. Yeah, that's what
You
the host
do.
does.
You're
Yeah?
Declan Rice. You're Declan Rice. You're Declan Rice. You're Declan Rice.
But yeah, overall, I mean, I'm happy with it. You know, I gutted that Liverpool got a last minute winner, even though they was my pick on final one standing. I could have done with a draw over there, but yeah, that Zubi goal. I mean, that's where I was at. I know it took a little deflection, but what a strike! I know Jordan and Lee will remember Gaisca Mendieta. That's what it reminded me of, a Mendieta type of strike. The way he kind of just, the technique behind it. Maybe even James as well. Do you know Mendieta?
I think I had him on match attacks.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
I'm not wrong. Might be wrong.
What a strike! What a strike! It was just beautiful, and from that moment we started opening up. I think Noni deserves a lot of credit as well.
Yeah.
For that one. Firstly, I think people need to calm down with the whole my match reaction. Turkish, apologize to Noni. Listen, it's a long season, and it's about the season, right? And that was a very good performance from Noni. You know, in my match reaction, I mentioned it, and I mentioned it here. Very good performance. If he can keep that up in Saka's absence, rotating in for Saka when Saka's quiet, coming in and doing that, great signing. But you know, at the time, it was the profile, it was the value, it was how hard we was going for him. It just didn't make sense. Obviously, with Saka out, he's had his opportunity, and he really stepped up. He was terrorizing the Forest left back. Who was it at the first half? Montaro.
Yeah, took him off, didn't they, and put Williams on there, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Williams switched over. Did he start right back?
He switched over. I think he switched over.
So
Noni was really.
Could just go on to that point, Turkish. You know what I mean, like about Madueke, because everybody's going on about that, like, you know, people apologising. Listen, it didn't seem right at the time. The timing right, but once the window was shut, it was perfect because we got everything we wanted, and he was part of it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he weren't, which people felt. You know, Gyökeres wasn't signed then. Eze, you know, like we was allowing Eze to go to Spurs, which people couldn't understand. In the end, Eze's come there, and now all of a sudden, you know, it all worked out. But like, there was a little bit of panic from fans. I was like furious, like that we hadn't got we was haggling over £1 million for Gyökeres, but we'd spent 52 million on Noni. At the end of the day, that I think a lot of that was down to not about the signing, not about the player. I was speaking to a Chelsea fan yesterday. He said, "What have you done to him? What have you done to him?" He said, "He never done that for us the whole time he was here." So, you know, I get why people were a little bit funny about it, but it was never for me the criticism of the player. It was the timing and whatever. Like, you know, look, listen, all the blocks fell into place at the end of the day, and it, you know, and I think because of that, his confidence is booming, like, you know, and I will say this: he got unbelievable reception when he come off on Saturday as well, like, you know. So Arsenal fans can be a little bit boisterous, but at the end of the day, we are very, very forgiving as well, like, you know what I mean?
No, but hold on. But also, Lee, people need to relax, because I remember when we wanted Eze. And remember that Man United, we just won 1-0 away. Madueke is coming on left wing, not Trossard. Actually, maybe he wasn't in the squad. Anyway, Madueke is the one coming on left wing. Eze is on the brink of going to Tottenham, as every report. So people can't tell me that they knew he was coming. He was on the brink of going to Tottenham. And when we were all saying, go get Eze as your left winger, I remember everyone saying, but he's not a winger. He's a 10. You can't play him there because he's not really a winger. He can't do what. And I saw him as a touchline winger on the weekend, beating his fullback time and time again as well. So, you know, once we got Eze, I remember live on AFTV, I asked the question, does it make you all prefer the Madueke signing? And more often than not, people said, yeah, because suddenly it was like, oh, I get it now. I know his role, not as let's turn you into something that we've only seen you do for 6 games at Chelsea and hope that's the answer to the title. No, we said you can be an option. But the other option is Eze, the guy who's been winning FA Cups for Crystal Palace, or at least helping. So, you know, the context always matters. The minute Eze walked through the door, I looked so much more favourably on that Madueke deal.
Yeah,
so
100%.
And I thought, and look, I will pass to Jordan, I thought Madueke was sensational on the weekend, time and time again. And the fact he didn't get everything right was even better, because the things he got wrong, and Eze got some things wrong too, almost speak to what he said in his post-match, which is Arteta gives us the freedom to attack. What are you giggling?
No, be
He
careful.
said
You can't say
sensational.
that
You
word.
got,
You
you
can't
got
up there, like, you know what I mean?
Do
Like,
you
you
remember
can't
last
say
week?
that.
He
You
wasn't
can't
here
say
in the
that.
last show.
Yeah.
Well, you can't say. Why can't we say sensational?
No,
Whoa.
James, you can. You can, James. You can this week. You can.
Lee
Why?
said Madueke was sensational for England on the last pod, and then Jordan was like, I wouldn't say sensational. Like, I don't know why. Literally the same word for word.
Oh, there we go. I thought you could tell I've been tuning in my absence.
Yeah.
But sorry,
player.
guys, I've been very busy. But yeah, I thought. Look, I don't think that word is too big for his performance on the weekend because he had that fullback murdered time and time again. The amount of times he got to the byline, I actually think he almost beat the fullback too much to the point where I don't think he actually quite knew what to do sometimes with the cutback or whatever. But he played some brilliantly chipped balls to the back post, which I think Arsenal could have attacked better. And what I liked was there was a range from hitting the byline to actually taking the cross early on his left foot and picking players out. He got things wrong, but so did Eze. But I like that because that's what wingers are meant to do. They're given the chance to try and there's more margin for error for them in the hope they get a bit more right. And I thought they were fantastic with Nwaneri coming on, with Odegaard and Saka missing. It's looking really good, guys, from an attacking perspective. What a turnaround from a team that had Marino up front and kids on the bench to try and.
Because I think we're yet to click as well. I mean, there was a couple. I'll say 3 passages of play. One of them didn't actually lead to anything. One led to Nwaneri shot over the bar, and one led to Gyökeres smashing the crossbar. Those 3 moments, the passages of play that led to those moments. The other one was the first half with Marino and Eze, quick 1-2s, one-touch passing. The second half, the Gyökeres one where it was Calafiori down the line, Gyökeres cuts in to Madueke, keeps his run going round. And the other one was like a neat play, I think Calafiori down the line to Eze, drop of the shoulder. The passages of play that we saw against Forest, once that fully clicks and, we start doing that across 90 minutes, I'm going to be, I'm excited about that. Because a lot of people looked at Marino and said he wasn't that great. I thought in the first half especially, he had a couple neat touches. Listen, he's not the most mobile or pacey of midfielders, but what he does is the touches he takes gives him that extra 2 seconds to get something done with the ball. And I like that about him. And when we saw him for Liverpool, it was with Zubi and Rice. Then we see him for Spain with Pedri and Zubi. And I think this free balance suited him a lot more. Because with him, Rice and Zubi, it felt very stiff. But at least with an Odegaard and Nwaneri in the middle as well, you felt like that was the person taking the attention away. And Marino had a little bit more time. Maybe I'm talking too much about him because it wasn't great performance. But I think the touches here and there were important.
I thought it was a very good one, though, Turkish. Yeah, I thought technically in tight spaces, he looked brilliant. I thought the way he was taking the ball into the right space every time, I thought was, with players around him, it was, it's funny, we use the word mobile more to talk about covering ground, but it's very mobile in terms of little shimmies here and there to make space. I agree. I thought he was very, very good. And, when you watch the comps of him at Sociedad before we signed him, I really thought that was more the type of midfielder we were getting. Someone who was like Granit Xhaka-esque, but with a bit more guile in the final third. And actually, he's looked more like workman-like in midfield, which has surprised us. But we saw a little bit of that on the weekend, and good on
him. Jordan, I mean, we haven't really delved into your thoughts around the game yet.
Well, now we've secured the 80k viewers and the money's in the bag, so we've definitely got the viewership tight. Like before we
wait, the like button, people. Before I don't know what could happen next.
Lee, I was also wondering, mate, what you thought about substitutions.
Yeah, I get that, James. It's good to have you back. And,
Cecil, what do you think of the game?
You lot of wankers.
And we're bringing in Sharoy, by the way. Where is he? In the back end somewhere? Oh, sorry.
So many good things about this game, and you guys have mentioned most, if not all of them. Really good performance. I'm really happy with what I saw. I think I'll probably make it a full house in terms of starting. Well, 2 of the 3 things that I've been banging on about in terms of what we've got to do to win the title. 2 of the 3 things were evident on the weekend. I'll make it a full house in terms of praising Mikel Arteta, because I was also very harsh on Mikel Arteta on the last but 1 pod after the Liverpool game. And I thought rightly so. I thought he got it totally wrong. So I'll be fair, and I think he was brilliant. I think it was James mentioned, you know, the resting of Declan Rice, I think, is part of the evolution of Mikel Arteta in understanding that you don't have to play all your best players all the time. We've got a big week coming up with Champions League and Manchester City, and you know I'm not one for planning too far ahead, but equally you got to be smart, right? But with Saka out, Saliba out, I know people are indifferent towards Havertz and the flirter, Odegaard coming off after 5 minutes, and you haven't started your best midfielder. If we drop points in that game on the weekend, boys, and Liverpool go on to do what they did, they beat Burnley in the end, you then go into the game against City next week. Let's say you draw or even lose that game, Liverpool beat Everton. Before you know it, you're 8 points behind Liverpool, 9 points behind Liverpool already. And then the league can get away from you very quickly. So for Mikel Arteta to show the bravery to say, no, I have confidence in my squad now. I'm going to rest because as far as I'm aware, Declan Rice wasn't injured, was he? He was rested. He wasn't injured.
Yeah, come on.
He said, Arteta said, when you catch a player in that moment, he's talking about Marino, in that kind of form, he just feels he's got to kind of play on that. And so Marino got the place.
So it was purely tactical and thinking forward planning. So it's a gamble, and the gamble paid off. So I want to big him up for that because that's part of the evolution of Mikel Arteta that I want to see this season. It's using the squad. It's not being afraid to not play your better players for the greater good. So I want to big up Mikel Arteta first of all on that one. And the second thing of my 3 must-haves to win the title this season, and I think Lee mentioned it earlier as well, it's the home record. Is it 17 or 18 home games? 17 games at home? Or was it 18 games at home?
What do you mean?
In the league?
Throughout the season?
Yeah, how many league games are there?
19, I believe.
Is it 19?
Yeah.
Right, so it's 19 league games at home, right? I want 18 wins. And I'm giving you the grace of one freak result, one freak draw, one freak defeated. I'm giving you the grace. I'm giving you a Blythe. I want 18 wins. At home, we have to play. We have to be like that. Nottingham Forest are a good team. I know they've got a new manager, but they're a good team. They've got some good players in their squad. They're going to beat a lot of teams this season. So for us to dismiss Forest so easily, 3-0, as Lee said, comfortable. We were comfortable. That's what we should be doing with our home games this season, boys. We've dropped too many cheap points in the last 2 seasons at home. The Emirates needs to be a fortress. When you come to the Emirates, you get beat. You get beat and you get beat comfortably. We won't beat everybody comfortably every single home game, of course. But I like the fact that we did make a meal of it. We scored a goal in the first half, scored a goal early in the second half. Game's pretty much done. Third goal kills the game. There was no, we scraped it, or it was close there. When you come to the Emirates, you get sent home. So I love that we dismissed Nottingham Forest, a good team with relative ease. Couple of players I want to mention. Let's start Madueke, because I'm with Turkish. Like, I'm getting DMs from so many people the weekend. Oh, what you said about Madueke now? Where's the apology for Noni Madueke now? What you said? I'm like, if you think the Madueke's performance was brilliant, as it was, he was excellent on Saturday. If you think he was brilliant on Saturday, but you're the same people saying that he was brilliant or sensational against Liverpool in the previous game, well then I don't understand what football games you're watching, because there was a clear difference between Saturday and his England performances and the Liverpool game. There's a clear difference. So if anything, I've been vindicated, because I wasn't even bashing Madueke. If you listen to, I wasn't bashing him. I was bashing the people that were overpraising him. I wasn't criticizing him. So all those DMing me now say, "Oh, what are you gonna say now?" I'm like, bro, if anything, I've been proven correct. Do you know how many times, guys, he beat his man on the weekend? Do you know how many times?
Enough times.
Officially.
7.
Oh, wow.
He beat his man 7 times, 5 in the first half. Like, literally getting, not like taking on, not looking a threat, beating his man 7 times in a game. That's wing play. 3 or 4 really good crosses, couple of shots on target. That's all I'm asking for. I'm not even judging him or the flirter by goals. Not even goals, just wing play. Beat your man, get a cross in, get shots off. That is what I want to see from him. So big up Madueke. He was brilliant. He was brilliant. And as James says, there were certain points where he beat his man. He does this really annoying thing where he beats his man and then he takes another touch and gets really close to the byline. And I'm like, bro, just cross it. And he does cross it in the end, but he gets really close to the byline, for me, a bit unnecessarily. But he had his guy cooked.
That Elliot Anderson fake was disgusting.
It was horrible. So I'm prepared to give Madueke all the praise when I see that. That's what I want from my wingers. Beat your man, or at least try and beat your man. So I want to pick up.
And you know what it highlights, Jordan, on that, just because before you move on, what it highlights is generally what we've been saying about the need for a mold of winger that can take on his man, that wants to. You know, and against Forest, you mentioned Madueke, and I'm sure you're going to mention Eze, but we had two that was taking on their man and beating their man. Eze not as much because we were still heavily right side orientated, right? But when Eze still had 3 moments in that game where on a highlight reel, you look at it, drop of the shoulder off. So I think, again, I hope this lights a fire up Martinelli, but it also highlights what we needed on top of what we lacked last season and the season before, which is more directness from our wingers. And I think that's exactly what he brought.
I don't think Madueke's got the kind of finesse of some of the best wingers around, but use that word. He's direct. I think that's why he was signed, because he's direct. He's going to go at you. So I want to big him up and give him his flowers, first of all. Zubimendi. I mean, the 2 goals are excellent. The 2 goals are brilliant, right? But this game for me was the game where Zubimendi, and for those listening on the pods won't see this. This is what he did. He was flexing and saying, "You know what? This is what I do. The goals will get the attention, but he bossed the game. He bossed the game. This is what I do. You know what? I'm warming up because you remember Santi? I know you guys are here at the Emirates. You remember Santi? I'm the new Santi. I'm gonna control this game." He bossed the game. All the subtle little the right passes at the right time, hanging on to the ball, switching play. I loved it. Big up Zubimendi. He was flexing and saying, this is a game you're going to see more and more this season, guys, where I control the game. That's what I do. I'm the controller here. Choo-choo. That's me on the train. I am dictating what time this train leaves the platform. I loved it.
I thought his expressions in the building is Thomas the Frank Engine about or some shit. What's going on here?
That's what I loved. The goals will get the attention, and rightly so, because they're 2 brilliant goals. But what for me, we didn't sign him for goals. He won't do that every single week. But what he will do every week from now on, I believe, is dictate the game. He's getting a little while up to speed now, the tempo, the physicality. But I was watching him thinking, yes, we have got a ball controller that can run games. So I want to big up Zubimendi as well. It was so good. And the last thing I want to mention is Nwaneri, because you mentioned the fact that it's right. When Odegaard went off, Arsenal got better. Arsenal definitely got better from an offensive point of view. I'm just not convinced it was because of Nwaneri. And I thought he had an okay game. But I think it's very easy to say, well, Odegaard came off, Nwaneri came on, so we got better. Therefore, Nwaneri's the reason. I think collectively we got better. And I think it's more about Odegaard coming off than Nwaneri coming on. And with Nwaneri, I'm still not sure, because I prefer him as a winger, but obviously he's seen now as Odegaard's backup. I still don't know what Nwaneri's thing is. Like, is your thing, I can make that pass, right? I can make that defense splitting pass that puts guys through. Or is your thing, I've got a shot from distance. I'm the guy that from 25 yards out, I can like Slobosly. I've got that shot in my locker. Is your thing, I don't know. I don't quite know what his thing is. From the wing, I know what his thing is. I'm going to beat you one-on-one, cut inside, and I'm going to bang it like at Preston. Or like in the European Champions League game last year. Or in the City game at the end. From the wing, I know what his assets are. I still don't quite know what his thing is in the 10 role. And he'll work it out. I'm sure he'll work it out. But I think that us getting better, I don't think it was because of Nwaneri. I think it was more Odegaard coming off that freed up the entire front line somehow. And I'm not shooting at Nwaneri, but I just think people are like, oh, when Nwaneri came on, he was a difference. I don't think he was brilliant. I thought he was okay. I mean, am I being harsh? I don't think he was great.
I also think Odegaard's been fine this season. And the thing is, he's come off so often, but I think he's done all right. We've just had so little football. He barely played the last 3 games, and against United, everyone was kind of poor. He kind of had his best and worst moments against United. I don't know. I'm not really prepared to be too harsh on Odegaard because we've not really seen him. But when we have, I think he's been quite good.
But Nwaneri does offer something different.
How can you turn around and say we weren't good enough? Or he was injured after 5 minutes. 10 minutes and he come off. I think he was. You can't blame Odegaard and say, oh, it's all because Odegaard come off injured and all that. We don't know.
What I'm saying though is that you can't deny that the two when he's come off, offensively, collectively, we have looked better.
Yeah, because the game opens up a little bit. But the first 10 minutes, most games are pretty cagey. You know what I mean? Like, you've got to feel out a team at first. You know what I mean? Arsenal feeling Forest out in the first 10 minutes and he's got injured. You know what I mean? I think that's very harsh. People are saying that on Odegaard. I honestly think, again, that the Odegaard thing is another little because he's Arteta's captain. Let's have a dig at him, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't see what the Odegaard's got to come into that. You know, people, we've scored 7 goals now, like without Odegaard, like, you know what I mean? Like, really, like, you know what I mean? That's people are finding out these things and all that. I never knew that, and I never cared about that. Like, you know what I mean? Listen, I think Odegaard has got a problem. He's got players now that, you know, are pushing him. And at this moment in time, what I think is the good thing about it is that we've not missed him. In the 2 games that he's come off, we haven't missed him. And so that's credit to the players. So I think it's just a little bit harsh when people go, oh, we're so much better when he went off and all that. I'm not having a dig at you, Jordan, when I'm saying that. Just like
No.
You know what I mean?
But guys, also, you know, and I didn't want to say this because I actually think it's been such a positive win. But what actually changed the games and all those goals flooded in was a set piece against Leeds and an absolute belter from Zubimendi.
Yeah.
It wasn't free-flowing football through the lines where Nwaneri's got on the ball, played a couple combos, and suddenly we're 1-0 up. And it's like, oh, we're not doing that with Odegaard on the pitch. It kind of took, again, set piece, which we know, and a moment of quality. And that's my only slight. If Zubimendi hadn't scored that goal, was kind of the rest of the performance that we saw for the rest of the game coming. I think it was because the combos were good. I think the combos were very good.
I'm with you.
They were trying to do more in midfield. I think it was coming. I think it was coming anyway, but that's the bigger difference. So that's the bigger influence. The fact that we got 1-0 up, basically, not the fact that Nwaneri's on the pitch and did something incredible that Odegaard didn't. I liked Nwaneri's performance. I thought he was very good, but I also think he's different to Odegaard. I think they belong together on the pitch. I think Odegaard is better in a more floating, roaming role, and Nwaneri's a final third player. But how you do that, I don't know, because Marino's in the best form of any midfielder we've got. Rice is £100 million and brilliant, and Zubimendi is, well, he's brilliant too. So,
well, I think against yesterday, but the point you raised about the set piece opening things up against Leeds and then a wonder goal opening things up against Forest, I think we've been saying it, especially me and you, for years now. You know, Odegaard 8. I know it's not going to happen now, but in terms of now, you've got the players to be, you know, Rice, Odegaard, Nwaneri, Rice, Eze, Odegaard. Now we've got the ability to play 2 attacks. Remember when Arteta did it early days, Emil Smith on Odegaard? Listen, it fell flat on his face, but that's what he had at his disposal. He'd done it a couple of times, right? It'd be nice to see that again against the Leeds of Forest moving forward to allow us more opportunity to open up without the need for a wonder goal or a set piece to take them out of their comfort zone.
I completely agree with that. I wonder whether we saw Arteta go with Marino for this game, and that signified a change in approach, not necessarily going one way with it, but actually looking to do something different. Hell, guys, playing Calafiori from the start of this season over Lewis Skelly in itself is a step in a different direction from Arteta. So I like all that. I'm really interested whether he eventually goes, you know what, Rice, you can go to the 6 so that we can get Eze and Odegaard in the pockets. I'd love to see whether he'd ever do that. I'd love to see whether he'd ever move Odegaard to left 8 so that Nwaneri can start. But this is great problems because actually Arsenal, okay, how do I explain this? I think Arsenal as a collective, our start to the season from a performance perspective, it's probably 6 or 7 out of 10. In terms of the football we're playing, 3 wins out of 4, I'd give us a 6 or 7 out of 10. But I actually think the players are playing above that. I think Eze's start to the season, in that performance he had, but also the game he had for Palace, Marino's start to the season, Zubimendi, Gyökeres getting the goals, Madueke, Saka. I almost think they're more an 8 or 9. Gabriel, Mosquera, Saliba all look brilliant. Timber I thought was fantastic on the weekend. I was critical into Liverpool. He was brilliant on the weekend. Ben White's come back firing. Calafiori looks superb. What a pass for Eze. So I think the players as individuals are playing a level above the collective, which kind of gives me hope that in the past, I've always thought the collective has played better than the individuals. And I've kind of praised Arteta's coaching. I've said, you've kind of got more out of players than I expected. But now I think the players, their levels are getting there and hopefully it clicks. And that's why I'm feeling really positive about it.
Can I just make 2? I know we've got to move forward. 2 quick points, just final points from me. The first one being, you mentioned about the squad depth there, James. I'm really interested to see how Mikel Arteta manages, because we've got a big squad. We've got such a big squad to the point where if everybody's fit, there's players like Trossard and Martinelli and even Ben White that might not make the bench. They might even make the bench. We've got so many good players that if everybody's fit, and that might not happen anyway, but if everybody's fit, we've got some quality players that won't even make the match day squad. How does he keep those players happy and content? Guardiola did it for a few years. He never had a big squad, but he had 15, 16, 17, 18 internationals that he kept happy. Klopp won 2 titles, but he never had a massive squad. We've got a massive squad. So part of, again, the Arteta evolution is how do you keep all these players happy to make sure that the harmony and the atmosphere is correct and everybody's buying into it. The second point I want to make just super briefly as well is everyone's praising Mosquera, who was absolutely, he's looking like he could be a real problem. We criticize Mikel Arteta's scouting for attacking players. One thing you can't criticize Mikel Arteta for is his scouting of defensive players. He's found another, he was a beast. But I want to just give a quick shout out to Gabriel. You know why? Because I want to respect consistency. Because it's easy with all these players coming in, playing well and looking really good to hype them and gas them up, and I get why. But Gabriel won't get a lot of shout-outs for his game on the weekend because he's Gabriel, right? But can we just respect consistency and just being an 8 out of 10 every single week? And the new guy's coming and he's the new shiny toy and everyone's excited about Mosquera and the praise was totally warranted. But I just want to let's not forget Gabriel. Gabriel was just as good, arguably, but because he's Gabriel, we expect
standard, yeah.
We you know what I mean? We don't gas it. So I want to just give a quick shout out to Gabriel because his buddy's out, but he's still holding it down. Just
back from surgery as well.
Yeah, brilliant.
Back from hamstring surgery.
Not too long ago.
Yeah. Oh, I just realized we didn't get an Nkapie debut, which actually that probably would have been quite a good time to see one. But obviously we went with Lewis Skelly, but that's fine. Yeah, the defenders are brilliant. Mosquera, like I know he didn't have too much to do, but it was the class with which he did it. That header when there was like a ball whipped to the back post, and he got down really low.
Yeah. Second half. Yeah.
I was like, how did he do that? I was like, how's he pulled that off? I thought he was immense, and he looks a lot better on the ball than I expected him to. When I looked into him, I thought we were getting, and look, Gabriel's good on the ball. Don't get me wrong, very good on the ball. But I thought we were getting more Gabriel, less Saliba. He looks a real blend of the two from a stylistic perspective. He's got a long way to be those two. But my word, at 20 years old, the potential looks insane. And you know what I saw all over the timeline was people going, how did Barcelona and Real Madrid let this guy out the country? But that's actually, while it's sort of a bit of fun to have a laugh with, that's Andrea Berta. That's a guy who knows his market. That's a guy who knows the situations of other players, contracts. He's well connected. Tried to bring him to Atletico Madrid before. He would be brilliant under Simeone. And Berta saw an opportunity. I'd like Arsenal to do more of those. More because we didn't have to let Tomiyasu go to bring him in. Like, we didn't have to do that. I think if we'd had almost the same window without those two, I think without those two particular deals out and in happening, I think people would have been quite happy. But he did it anyway, and he looks sensational. £13 million, guys.
Mad,
Do you know how
innit?
many people need a defender? Liverpool trying to get Gehi. Man United need defenders. Man City. Well, City.
Yeah, City. Yeah, Kanji left. Ake was about to go.
Good point.
Diaz hasn't been the same for a little while.
Chelsea for sure did. They were looking.
Yeah.
You can't Mosquera 13 million with the defensive options we've got. I mean, I wonder if part of the reason a player like Nkapie or a player like Mosquera wants to join is that because they can see the way defenders have developed at the club. You know, it's one thing looking at a club and going, well, there's loads of competition, but you might go, yeah, but look at these players. I mean, look at what they were and what they've become. So I think that's also part of it. People don't mind being a part of the squad because they know how they're going to develop and they know they'll have their part to play.
And it's on the verge of something. So, you know, even squad members get recognised when you finally get over the line. As we remember, a lot of squad players from the 90s and 2000s league, you know, squad players play a big part too. So, yeah, game time.
Players win your games. Not win your games, they win your leagues because you go back in time. You know, if you even look at us. We probably could have won the league if we'd have had a squad that a few years ago when we lost Saliba and Tomiyasu. You know, like they're so important, and these guys are coming in. And what's the biggest thing about it at the moment is that the guys that have, you know, the Sakas and Salibas, and they're the two best players in this team. But the drop off isn't massive. It's not been massive. You know what I mean? Like if other teams have Liverpool lose a couple of, you know, Van Dijk for a little while, the gap's going to be massive for them. Like, you know what I mean? The drop off has been massive for us in the past. It wasn't on Saturday, and that was there in evidence all around. I'm not bothered if Saka's not playing this week or on Sunday against Man City. I like him to be available, but at the end of the day, if Madueke plays like that, I'm happy with it. Madueke, he's like that was an unbelievable performance.
He fixed himself.
Sensational performance from him.
I'm glad you flew in there because
But,
I see you, Lee.
That was
I can't get his bloody name right. I'll tell you, like, you know what I mean. So I'll not. But now, listen. At the end of it, you know, look, I want Saka back as quickly as. Well, not. I want Saka back, but not as quickly as. I don't want him rushed. I think there's no need for him to be rushed. There's no need for Saliba. Saliba, guy, let's just be really honest about it. 2 years ago, Saliba was like at that stage. He's trained. He'd have played. You know what I mean? Like that it's such a big thing. Like, you know, do you know what? Like, you're all right. Well, we've got Forest at home. We won't. You know, we won't play you today. You know, you might play against them. I don't think it's even necessary that he plays again. He gets some sort of minutes in Spain, but like I don't even think it's a big call now if Saliba doesn't play in that game. You know, this is unbelievable. You know what credit to the players that we've got that have come in, and I think they deserve to be playing again on.
I agree, Lee. I agree. Apart from maybe I might bring Rice back in from Marino, but otherwise I'm playing the same team. I wouldn't be against Rice having another break.
Athletic Club or City, sorry.
Athletic.
No, Odegaard's injured, so he has to change.
Who?
Odegaard.
Oh yeah. True, yeah.
Nwaneri slots.
Played Nwaneri. Yeah, played Nwaneri.
Or it's a shot. Actually, no, playing Nwaneri. Because I guess Martinelli's going to need an opportunity. Is it Bilbao as it comes into the 10? But then Nwaneri re-signed the contract to be, you know, next in line for certain positions. And yeah, it's a good problem to have. It's a good problem to have. You know, we'll go into Bilbao. Before we go into Bilbao, people hit the like button.
Just one thing about that, Turkish. I don't know if you noticed that, but when Odegaard got injured, right, he told Nwaneri and Martinelli to warm up. So them two were warming up. So there was a decision to make whether he would have put Eze in there and put Martinelli on there, or he went with Nwaneri. He went with Nwaneri, but both of them, when he went down first of all, them were the two that were warming up, like, and then Nwaneri on his own, like, you know. So there was a thought process.
I'm glad he went Nwaneri as well. If I'm
Yeah,
honest.
I think it was the right call. Well, listen, we've all said Arteta got everything spot on, and substitutions is one of them.
Yeah, 100%. All right, cool. Because even remember Dalman came on at the end of the Liverpool game, and people was wondering what about Nwaneri. But yeah, this was good, right choice for sure, in my opinion. And give Martinelli something to think about because, he does need the competition's there now. So if the competition doesn't light that fire, then there is no fire to light.
League Cup's coming up. League Cup's coming up for Martinelli. Don't worry, he'll get his minutes.
Port Vale, home, end of the month.
Yeah. Martinelli can play that one.
We will literally be there, but we will be here. Hit the like button, people. Make sure you are subscribed. Before we move on to Bilbao, and I say Bilbao, we're just going to touch in on it and then make our predictions. Final one standing is still running. If you've entered game week 4, that means you're in with a chance to win 200k, and that's if you pick the correct team. If you're still in with a chance to win 500k, like me, the only one here on the panel, then well done to you. Give yourself a thumbs up, a pat on the back, because we're 5 games in and we're still in the big one. Now, I picked Liverpool, and I can't lie to you, I would have preferred a 0-0 and been out of this tournament because I would have taken that. But Liverpool scored. I am through. I picked Newcastle for my 200k game week 4 game. So currently, people, I'm in both.
Set me too. I'm at the big 500, but I'm safely through with Arsenal in the 200 one, and I went with Newcastle as well, Turkish. So
You're in.
I mean, 2 out of 3.
How come you're in the 500 one still?
He's
No,
not.
I said 200.
Oh, okay.
Right, always looking to criticise. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, just
I've been knocked out twice.
Well,
And Liverpool needed to the 95th minute to make it. I don't know what kind of luck I got, but hey, I made it. I wasn't happy about it because of Liverpool, but
Yeah.
made it.
you're still in there.
Yeah.
Still in it. Jordan, you went with Newcastle.
I went with Newcastle. They got the win. So I'm through to in the 200k one. So I'm through to the next round in that one.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie, people. Scan the QR code, click the link in the description or pinned comment. If you want to play along, you can play along too. We are doing another preview/review of the Bilbao game later this week, and that's when I'll go through game week 5 fixtures and pick my next team, or we'll pick our next team. I say my because I'm 5 weeks into the original 500k pot. It's becoming a bit difficult, so I've got the fixtures in the background now. I've got to think about it before I let people know what's
exciting now, isn't it? Exciting, like, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. 5 games in. What's that about?
I'm even more peeved now that when that Liverpool got out, it bumped James and you out like that. I mean, that would have been a nice double whammy. That would have been like, you know what I mean. But there you go.
Would have
You
been
can't have it all. You can't have it.
Let James stay in for a
Would
week.
have been out.
Yeah, well, shouldn't be choosing Liverpool.
If you want to play along, make sure you scan that QR code, click the link. Please gamble responsibly, 18 plus, as always, people. It's free to play, and yeah, you'll have chance to win pots moving forward throughout this season. So show the link and the QR code some love. Cool. Bilbao, I mean, Champions League is back. First fixture away in Bilbao. We played them in pre-season. And we play them again now. Nico Williams came off with an injury against Turkey in the 6-0 demolition job that I said I'll never mention again, that I've just now got myself angry with at 8:20 in the morning. So I don't think he's available.
I'm just having a look because I know they lost 1-0 at home on the weekend out of theirs. Let me just check the 11. No, he wasn't in it. Iñaki Williams was on the left. He didn't make the bench either. Yeah, okay, well, that's a big player missing. But they've got some good players. I know we kind of dispatched them quite easily in pre-season, but that's 2 defeats in a row at home. One of them was a club friendly. I'm just having a look at the rest of their results just briefly. Yeah, Alaves, they lost. They did win 2-1 away at Betis. They beat Rayo Vallecano 1-0. Sevilla, they beat 3-2. Okay, so what's that? So I think they got 3 wins. Yeah, they got 3 wins in 4, 1 defeat, but it was a home defeat. So actually, they were a home win away from 4 out of 4. So that tells you they're looking fairly lively. Fair play to them. Look, I just don't ever expect these games to be easy. The away trips in Europe, they've got good players, and I think it's difficult to exert the energy against Forest. Then you've got City, one eye on that on the weekend. Game prep for both. The good thing is that it comes quite quickly with the Tuesday night game. And then we've got obviously till Sunday when we face City. So that in itself is quite a good thing for Arsenal in terms of prep. But yeah, I mean, I'll just jump to it. Actually, no, I can't give my prediction. No, let me not.
No, we'll do. I mean, there isn't much to talk because it's the beginning of the Champions League. All I'd really say on it is try to get the job done before January, because January, I'd hope, I'd expect that we are thick and fast in the Premier League title race, and the FA Cup would have returned by then, and hopefully we're into the next round. So January, we don't want to be leaving like last season. January, we don't want to be leaving much to chance to the last, game week 7, game week 8 in the Champions League. So for me, start well, start strong, and if you have a positive 5-6 games, then you're through.
Yeah, don't lose. That's all I'm saying in this game. Don't lose this game. I know, I don't worry if we're a little bit more defensive and all that, because it's not the being and all winning these games. It's about getting through, getting into the top 8, and this season now with a little slight rule change, the higher you get is more beneficial. So yeah. Listen, it's an opportunity to win the game, isn't it, and get us off to a good start. Not going to be easy, mate.
I'm here in Italy with my cousins are all Inter fans from 1,000 times. Obviously, we played them last year. They said to me, first thing they said to me was, "You'll beat us this year." Obviously, we lost 1-0 at San Siro a year ago. I said, "Why is that?" They just said they're not clicking. But then I tuned into Juve Inter, which Inter were 1-0 down, 2-1 down, then turned around to 3-2 up and lost 4-3. What's that got to do with this athletic club game? It's got nothing to do with it. But there should be optimism that we can, like last season, match at least that third place or near enough it. Because there's no game there that, look, I don't think any game at the level we're at should be like a guaranteed defeat. But the Inter Milan game away last year, I did think that would be really tough, even to come away with a point, because they're a very, very solid outfit. They're conceding goals, they're not quite the same. So I'm quite hopeful of us doing something good in Europe this season, at least from the group, the league phase, till we worry about the knockouts.
I think we win the whole thing. I don't think we win the Champions League in the Premier League, but I think I've got us winning the Champions League this year. I think this is our year, and I think I'm with Lee. I don't think a point away in Europe is a bad point, but I think up until the Bayern Munich game, we should be looking to win all 4. I mean, it's 4 games before Bayern. I'm looking, if we're serious this season and this is the year we've got to win something, I'm looking at 4 out of 4. I'm looking at 4 out of 4. We've got to be serious. This is not an easy game, but it's a game I think we need to assert ourselves. Let's get 3 points in the bag early. Let's get our campaign off to a good start. And as Turkish, let's try and wrap up our qualification as soon as possible, because there's a lot of games coming up from January onwards, as he says. So we don't want to be caught up in any nonsense of fixture congestion and we've got to travel here and there and play off. Let's just try and get this wrapped up as soon as possible. I think a first win against it's a nice fixture for us. I don't see why we can't win this game and really assert ourselves in this Champions League. And I don't think we win the Premier League this season, but I do think we win the Champions League. I really feel like it's our time now. And I think it should be our time to kind of go
to predict winning the Champions League is very bold. Very.
Is it? Is it that
for
bold?
A team that's never won it?
No, I hear that, but I think on our journey to kind of European success, I think we got to semis last year. I think a bit like England.
You sound like them people that said we finished second a couple of years in a row now. Should be first next.
No. What, you're right. You're right to call me out on that, because I was one of those people saying that. So you're right to call me up on that. You're right. But I think a little bit like England, we need to look at ourselves now as a last 4 team. We are a semi-final team, minimum. Do you know what I mean? I know Real Madrid are Real Madrid. I know Barca are really good. Bayern have got heritage. City aren't mugs, and Liverpool are probably the favourites. But I think with the money we've spent, the team we've got, and the journey we're going on, I see a reason footballing wise now to say that we should be getting to the last 4. Why not, if not final? So maybe it's a bold shout early on, but I feel like with the way we play as well lends itself maybe more to cup competitions than it does the league. But yeah, let's get the 3
Find
points.
out.
Let's get off to a good start and let's get this campaign.
Yeah, I
underway.
think a minimum for me of getting back to the semi-finals, that platform again, and then seeing what you can do is, the run is important as well. So, one sec. Good morning. Come, have a good day at school. Yeah, come give me a hug.
What does he think? What's his prediction?
What do you think? Arsenal gonna win?
Yeah.
Come, tell them you got star of the week. His first week at school, he got star of the week.
My
well
guy.
done.
My guy. Well
Was he on
done.
time?
He's always on time. From
That's why I
Have a word.
Star of the week. Turkish is setting the fogginger standards. Well
no messing
done, man.
about, man.
Well done. If he doesn't get it this week, Turkish will ask him. But why not?
If he doesn't get it this week, he might be sent to Cyprus, mate. Yeah, that's the standards. But yeah, sorry about that. Hit the like button, people. Brief glimpse at little man there. But yeah, let's do predictions for Bilbao, because I know Lee's got a flight to catch. So here's how the table's looking with Lee's 3 points added to the board. He's top of the table, 5 points with 1 correct score. Jordan and myself in second, 3 points, no correct scores, and James is currently bottom on 2 points, no correct scores. It's still all tight. So he's dancing, but come Thursday, Wednesday after Bilbao, he might be crying.
He might be. He might not be.
Lee, kick us off. Bilbao away Tuesday.
1-2.
1-2, 2-1 away win. Jordan?
0-2.
0-2, 2-0 away win. I'm gonna go 3.
Why are you talking like that? Just say 2-1 Arsenal. 2-0 Arsenal.
I just copied Lee. Lee.
It must be an older generation thing, James. 3-1, I'd say.
They still
Yeah.
1-3.
There you
Thank
go.
you. Thank you.
Your words.
Thank you. Don't listen to the park timer. You know what I mean? Like, don't listen to him.
God, James.
Okay, what I actually think is 2-1 to Arsenal, but I'll go 1-0 for the sake of, I've got some catching up to do already. 1-0 Arsenal.
1-0, 2-1, 3-1, and what was the other one, Jordan?
2-0.
2-0, 2-0, 2-1, 3-1, 1-0. Okay. A few results covered there, people. Let us know yours in the comment section below. Bilbao away. We'll be back for the City game. Obviously, a big one in the league, but look out for that Thursday. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit that like button. Comments of the day. Everyone got a comment of the day?
Yeah.
Can I do mine and then I can jump off? Is that okay? Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that okay? Like, yeah. So I've just got the one like with James. Like, you know what I mean? I swear James is never here no more. Like,
Yeah, I've got that as well. That's so hard. He missed this 1 week.
He ain't never here no more.
I love it. They notice you can't get away with it. Like, you know what I mean?
They've been doing it on my own video. So I think the most liked comment on my last video was, so you couldn't make it for Forever Arsenal, but you've set up, you're set, you've made a video on the universe. Not a problem there.
Yeah, unreal, like,
I'm going to send everyone a PDF.
So I'm going to get out of here, like, yeah.
Safe flight, mate.
No worries, I'll take care, like,
Take care,
yeah.
Lee. Safe flight. Enjoy.
Can I just jump in next? I've got a really good one here that sums up my love for the fan base of our community, right? Got one comment. Without Jordan, this would be just another boring podcast along with all the others. 2 comments later, get Jordan off this podcast and put him on a new one with Igal and Ty.
They've formulated a new podcast for you.
Love it.
They want you on the content with a guarantee. Oh, that's hard.
Yeah.
I don't know what Igal is, but
I can't lie, I do. I mean, my one here, Dylan says, why are we subjected to listening to Jordan weekly? Just swap him out for the love of God. We can't take his waffle anymore. He sounds very passionate about
he
this.
does. But just let that person know, you're not forced to listen to the podcast. Like he says, subjected to, like, you don't have to listen to the podcast.
He's locked into the chair. Just
you do have a choice.
Picks in his eyes, just Jordan.
Yeah. Just let you know, bro. You can unsubscribe. You can,
unless someone's torturing him, Jordan. We don't know.
Maybe.
Might be a call for help.
Maybe.
So I don't know what's going on. James,
not really. But I did see the comments after the Liverpool defeat. And they said that I said Szoboszlai wasn't good technically, and then he went and slapped him one of the best free kicks I've ever seen. That one hurt.
Tune
That
into
one hurt.
technical insight next week to
It's
find
just-
out
it's
who's not
just
technical.
It's so typical. It's so typical. And I think everyone knows what I meant, but I'm not even going to go down that route.
Yeah,
There
yeah,
we go.
yeah.
What a free kick. So, yeah, that was painful. So I took a week off, so I didn't have to address it.
He went all over the place.
Good man.
Now he's in Italy. He's not even back in the
Yeah.
UK yet, but hopefully he'll be back soon. He's on the pod this time round anyway, so hit the like button, subscribe to Gooniverse 2, subscribe to Whisper It Loudly, World's Coolest Disabled. Subscribe to Lee Judge's TV. He's still waiting on that 50k people, so make it happen, you know, before he starts moaning about it again. And yeah, my channel, Turkish L, the end of Big Six. Comments of the day, welcomed as always. Hopefully you've enjoyed the pod as always. Love for the love as always. We'll be back after the Bilbao game, before the City game. Subscribe right here, people, and catch us then. Jordan, James, any last thoughts, words? Should we wrap it up? We're good to go?
Wrap it up.
Keep it rolling, Arsenal. That's it. We're all feeling good now.
That's it. On to Bilbao, people. We'll be back Wednesday or Thursday. Look out for it. Love for the love. See you soon. Peace.